Hello students of class 6th B, this is your biology classes. Welcome to your new online classes. Today we will study about the venation of leaves. So the arrangement of veins and vinelets on the leaf blade is known as venation. So the way they are arranged in a leaf blade is known as venation. There are two types of venation, parallel venation and reticulate venation. First we will study about parallel venation and then we will study about reticulate venation. So what is parallel venation? In this type of venation, the veins of the leaves run parallel to each other. So the veins of the leaves are parallel to each other. For example, leaves of maize, fan, palm and banana. You can see in this diagram, the veins are parallel to each other. So this is called parallel venation. In reticulate venation, in this type of venation, the veins and vinelets of the leaves are interconnected over the entire lamina. They are interconnected to each other, forming a web-like network. As you can see here, they are forming a web-like network and they are connected with each other. For example, the leaves of castor, peepal and mango. So here is an activity given. Aim to study the venation of leaf. First, what you have to do is take a fresh leaf of peepal, take a leaf of peepal and soak it in water for a week. Change the water in every second day so that the leaf does not become perishable. Perishable means destroyed or decay. After a week, gently pull the leaf, take the leaf out of the water after a week and rub the lamina with your fingers and rub the leaf with your fingers. Now, you may observe that the green color of the leaf will come off, the green color of the leaf will fade away and leave a very fine network of veins showing reticulate venation. You will see a network of reticulate venation and you can compare the leaf with this diagram given here. Now the next topic is function of the leaves. What are the functions of the leaf? First function is manufacture of food. It helps in photosynthesis, so it helps in the manufacturing of food. The main function of leaves is to prepare food for the plants. The green leaves prepare food for the plants in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll by a process called photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is the process of making a food in the presence of air, water and sunlight with the help of chlorophyll. The chlorophyll present in the leaves, so the leaves are the manufacturer of food. In this process, the leaves use carbon dioxide and water to prepare food in the form of starch. They prepare a food in the form of starch, taking the help of carbon dioxide and water. Oxygen gas is released in this process as the green leaves prepare food for the plants. Because they prepare food for the plants with the help of chlorophyll, they are called food factory of the plant. So a reaction is given here of photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide gas plus water forms starch plus oxygen in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So the next function of leaf is transpiration. So do you know what is transpiration? Transpiration is the process of losing of water in the form of water vapor through the stomata, and the stomata is present on the leaves. Excess water absorbed by the roots of the plants is released into the air through the tiny pores present on the lower surface of leaves. Sometimes when the plant absorbs excess water, it is released into the air through a tiny pores present on the lower surface of the leaves, which is called stomata in the form of water vapor. These tiny pores are called stomata, and the process of releasing excess water by the plant in the form of water vapor is known as transpiration. It keeps the plants cool. Third function of the leaves is gases exchange. During the day, for performing photosynthesis, plants take carbon dioxide and release oxygen through the stomata. So they continuously take carbon dioxide and release oxygen for the process of photosynthesis. Plants, like other living organisms, respire continuously day and night. In the process of respiration, they take oxygen and release carbon dioxide through the stomata. During the day, as a result of photosynthesis, the oxygen gas released by the plants, because they take carbon dioxide and release oxygen gas, is used by other living organisms for their respiration, because we use oxygen to respire and we give out carbon dioxide. As a result of respiration, the plants release carbon dioxide, and which is poisonous in nature. Therefore, it is advisable not to sleep under the tree at night, because at night they take oxygen and release carbon dioxide, which is poisonous in nature. So we get the answer of this question here. Why it is not advisable to sleep under the tree during night? Because the plant releases carbon dioxide, which is poisonous in nature. Now here is an activity given. Aim to prove that during the process of photosynthesis, oxygen is evolved in green plants. Materials required: hydrilla twigs, it is a kind of plant; beaker, glass funnel, a test tube, pond water, and a glowing splinter. What is the procedure? Take a beaker and fill 3 upon 4th of it with pond water. Take some freshly cut hydrilla twigs and insert them in the nozzle from below the stem of a glass funnel. In this way, keep this funnel in an inverted position at the bottom of the beaker. In this way, a support arrangement is used in between the base of the funnel and the bottom of the beaker. Look here. Now, a test tube filled with pond water is inverted over the stem of the funnel. Here, while making this arrangement, one has to see the level of water in the beaker should be above the level of stem of the inverted funnel. The whole arrangement is kept on a flat surface under bright sunlight for some time. Observation: what you will see, air bubbles start moving from the cut end of the hydrilla twigs and get collected at the upper end of the test tube. Here, after some time, we find some gas get collected at the top of the inverted test tube by downward displacement of water. Means water will settle down and air will get collected at the upper end of the test tube. To test the nature of the gas collected, the test tube is removed quickly from the stem of the funnel and the mouth is closed with the thumb. Now a glowing splinter is introduced to test the gas. By removing the thumb from the mouth of the test tube, the glowing splinter immediately bursts into a flame because of the presence of oxygen gas, indicating that the gas collected in the test tube is oxygen. Now some questions are given here. First one, what is the aim of the above experiment setup? To prove that oxygen gases evolved during photosynthesis in green plants. Question number 2, why hydrilla plants are used in this experiment? Because they are aquatic plants and they can carry out the process of photosynthesis even in water. Question number 3, why pond water only should be used for this experiment? Because it is a source of CO2 which means carbon dioxide. Next, if a pinch of baking soda is added to the water in the experiment setup, which change can you notice in the result of this experiment? If the baking soda is added, because baking soda is a source of CO2, then more oxygen will be evolved and more air bubbles could be seen.